Welcome to the altar. Welcome to the altar. Meet me at the altar.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Marriage Altaer
Yeah!
podcast.
Good job.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so much. My name is Ernestine.
Yes.
I'm Don. Sorry, my bad. I'm Don.
I'm Kadero.
And I am Hope, and we want to welcome all of you to the Marriage Altaer. If this is your first time, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. Bing. Oh, bing. Yes, you were on it. And tell all your friends about it, right? And just to let you guys know, every Wednesday at noon, we are dropping a new episode. Wednesday. So make sure you hit that button to get notified.
We're going to win on Wednesday.
We're going to win on Wednesday.
We win
on Wednesday.
I love that.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday.
Okay, so let's start with the icebreaker this time.
Okay, but before we start with the icebreaker, do we have any personal wins that we'd like to share with the people?
Personal wins.
I can go first.
Okay.
Give you time that I know you're a processor.
Thank you for that.
So this is kind of a serious thing, but I'll keep it light.
Okay.
So last week, Ernestine and I, we just been a little bit more intentional about just kind of our boys and like the things that they participate in, what they watch, the games that they play and all that stuff. Yeah. And so we saw that our youngest son had saw some things that he probably shouldn't have saw. And we wanted to bring it to his attention and let him know. And I will say it's kind of a two-part win, because part of it has been Ernestine and I have been really intentional with just our relationship with God and just stewarding our spiritual growth. But also, if you noticed the last episode, we talked about forgiveness. I believe it was forgiveness. And that has just been like a reoccurring theme in my life every single day. And so anyway, going back to the story, we decided to take him out. Now, usually, knowing us, Black parents, which Ernestine and I haven't been this for a while, but we all have that same story or background. When, like, you get caught doing something you ain't supposed to be doing, your parents is like, boy, what did I tell you? Or we going off on them, we making them feel bad. You know what I mean? And it's a punishment.
Yeah.
But yet, like,
right.
We don't get punished when we do something wrong with the father, right? So, what we did now, and the other thing is too, sometimes I think we get punishment and consequences confused.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Good.
punishment can be very harsh. It can be very condemning.
Yeah.
Consequences is like, hey, this is a consequence of an action that the wording is different and it received different. So with that being said, we decided to take him out to eat. And just have a good time with him, to spend time with him. And so at the end of the night, we decided to say, hey, so here's the thing. I want to ask you a question. I want you to be honest. We've talked about honesty before. And one of the things I've always told my sons is you will never get in trouble with me for being honest. And so I asked him, I said, hey, did you do this? And you could see his whole countenance change. Like guilt, shame, condemnation just completely just rested on him. Like his head went down and he was just and I think the father that I used to be years ago would have been like, hold your head up. Like, put your head up. Like, don't be trying to be shot now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I had nothing but compassion for him. Before the conversation even started, I said, hey, look at me. I said, I want you to know that number one, me and mom forgive you. Like, we forgive you and we love you. I said, this is not you getting in trouble. This is us talking with you to figure out how we can help you. I said, I want you to know that me and mom, we've jacked up plenty of times. We've messed up. Matter of fact, the same thing you did, we've done the same things. I said, so we're all in this boat together right now. It's not just we're on this ship and we're looking at Jace like, you're so this or whatever. I said, it's me, you, and mom in this thing together, and we're going to figure it out together. I said, so I want you to know I love you and we forgive you. And after that, it was so much more of a freeing and liberating conversation because he wasn't walking in this, oh my God, my parents are going to kill me. And I'm so embarrassed. I can't even look at them. And it was fine. And he was talkative and, he warmed up to it a little bit. But after that, he was talkative and he was good. And so for me, that's a win because we need more parents in the world that knows how to communicate something that is a disappointment and not communicate it like it's a disappointment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And not be condemning and not be harsh and not be like, all right, you want to do that and you want to be grown or you want to do this? Okay, well, I'm taking everything from you and you better not ask for it back.
Right.
Like all of that, and that doesn't help.
Right.
Yeah. It
Or
doesn't.
beating them, that don't
Right.
help.
Mhm.
But the comment says, hey, I know how you feel.
Yeah.
I want you to know I forgive you. Before we even get into the conversation, I don't need to wait to the end of the conversation to see how you're going to respond first
Yeah.
to see if I forgive you. I want you to know up front because that's what Christ did for us.
Right.
I was forgiven before I was born.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so, hey, before we go into the sun, you're forgiven. So that made me feel good about two things. It made me feel good about helping my son to realize, man, I can talk to my parents about some of the craziest things and I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But number two, it really showed my growth.
Yeah.
It showed my spiritual maturity, and it lets me know that the things that I've been doing and been reading and been engulfing myself in has really been fruitful. So
That's awesome.
yeah,
Yeah.
Good job, parents.
come on.
Good job, parents.
Great.
That's awesome.
great
I saw
win.
it as a win too, because you know how you said how we used to parent, and so I saw that as a win too for our growth. And afterwards, I told him I was like, this is one of those moments where feel a lot of gratitude to be parenting with you. You know,
That's good.
Yeah.
because not everybody the couple has to be on one accord.
Yeah.
And sometimes one parent wants to do it one way and another. But we were on the same page, and I was like, I feel very proud to be parenting with you. So, yeah, I was very happy
Yeah,
about
come
that.
on, parent.
I feel the same way with you, boo. You know what
Come
I'm
on,
saying?
point.
Okay.
Okay, I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting
I wasn't
electricity.
So that was the first time? Was that the first
No,
time?
that was the first time.
Oh,
we've done
okay.
that.
That's
Yeah,
That's
him and
why
Novi normally do it at
with
nighttime.
our little girl.
For
at
some
nighttime.
reason, they zap each other. I don't know.
She wants to zap daddy.
He's brought it to the podcast. Do you have a win, my dear?
Yeah, I would say last week, Hope and I traveled for a speaking engagement, and
Okay.
it'll be like later on that it comes out. So it was just exciting for the moment because our prayer for our brand and what we've been doing is for expansion and to do more and to get more exposure and to speak on God's word and what he's doing in our life and put that out to the world. And so to have a moment where somebody reaches out to us and say, hey, we want y'all to come, we'll take care of everything, and we want you to speak about God, speak about your journey, your life, your miracle, and all those things. It was dope. It was a dope experience.
Yeah.
And it was like, for us, it was just the beginning.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, like we are listening to God and then speaking into their life
Yeah.
to the point that like they're breaking down because it's confirmation for them.
Mm-hmm.
And we're hearing from God and we're like saying words to them of encouragement and prophetic stuff. And it's just like, oh snap, what's going on here with us? Like what vein that we're working in right now together as a couple. And it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to have our daughter there. With us.
Novi
and
traveling.
Novi
She was,
traveling
oh,
already.
she was such
like,
a big girl too.
She was such a big
Like,
girl.
get on an airplane. Shh.
Yeah.
She made the noise too?
She
She
did.
made the noise and everything.
Yeah, she was
so
ready.
it was big for us just to see that. And I think I'm looking forward to more opportunities like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More opportunities.
I want to be
see
clear
that.
too, because I want to make sure that we're actually, number one, I believe in everything that we're doing together, but I also believe in the things that God has called y'all to do. So I want to make sure that we're clear on when you say our brand, you're not necessarily talking about the Marriage Altaer. You're talking
No,
about
every day with H&K.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's been our brand since 2020 that we created in the midst of COVID
Pandemic.
and the pandemic, and Hope and I got together, started making videos and our life's journey through that, and many opportunities have come from that. And so it's been cool to see the growth within 3.5, 4 years of this thing.
So let me ask you this. Now, I know we have an icebreaker, and we're going to still do it.
She has a win too.
Oh, you have a win. Well, it's kind of...
Oh, you don't have one? Oh, did it take your win?
No. My win
Okay.
was very simple. We can move on though, if you want to.
It was, but it wasn't
connects-
necessarily... It was in response to his answer.
Yeah,
It wasn't
go
necessarily
ahead.
moving on.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm kind of giving away a little bit of our topic today, but if you looked at the title when you clicked on this video, then you know what we're talking
You should
about.
know.
But what do you feel like you going out, right? And this is not the first time you've done interviews together, but going out and this is the first time Novi has been able to, what do you feel like that did for the energy of your family? Even the intimacy of your marriage, and be like, man, you know what? Like, I'm doing ministry with this girl. Like, because I know you said that this one it was not so much of an interview as it was kind of like, I even, I know one of the things you even said that you had to do something that you normally don't do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Salvation prayer. I was just like,
oh, yeah.
and Hope kind of threw it at me because she was like, are you going to do? And then she's like, oh,
yes,
I'm sorry.
y'all know I got to prepare.
Let me tell you.
Listen.
Hope is going to alley-oop, boy. she may not tell you she's going to alley-oop, but she's going to alley-oop.
And they were, because they were like, if y'all want to just leave. I said, yeah, babe, you got it.
I said, yeah, baby, got it.
Hey, we talked about that.
I'm looking at the basket like,
We
do I got it?
are one.
We ain't one. You got that, boo. You got
I
it.
looked at the basket like, do I got it? He's like, yeah, go for it. I'm just like, all right, here we go. Look in the camera and say what I need to say.
Yep.
But
You did great. You did great.
thank you.
Yep.
I appreciate it. But yeah, it was. I think it was one of those moments of like, we're doing ministry as a family.
Yeah.
And it was one of those things like, it was almost that priority of life, of what our life should look like.
Yeah.
It wasn't work. It was family time. It was ministry. It was pouring into my family as well as pouring into others and everybody that will see it. So it was one of those like, man, when you in your vein, you in your pocket, you just like, this is what I want to be doing.
And I think too, it was so cool just to see Novi response to like the set. So like when she looks at, she's like, camera, lights, like she's pointing out all these things, and it's like, yeah, mommy, daddy got to go to work. And I feel like as she gets older, is starting to understand kind of what that may look like. And so it's just really cool for her to like be there in our work and in our jobs. And it is truly a blessing that we can do that, because I know like a lot of people can't. And so it's just like, it's cool that it's like, bring your daughter to work day.
And then we make it a priority to make sure we do something specifically with her.
Yeah.
Too, because we've been doing some work stuff and where we're a little bit away from her. So we do it. So there was a trip in Dallas. We then took her to like this little indoor playground type thing and just let her play. While we were in Georgia for this one, we did an Easter egg hunt, and so they have this huge property, and we're like putting eggs, and there was just that moment there. And you can check that out even on YouTube. Right?
Oh, not the
that
little
shameless
plug.
Little look at little Novi doing her little Easter egg hunt.
Little no.
It's dope. We always do make sure, like, since she's there with us, like, let's make sure we always take a day.
That's cool.
To say, all right, no, this is your day with us.
Yeah. The great thing about that, man, is she's gonna remember that.
Yeah.
Especially if that's something that you kind of create a custom of, like throughout the years, because we have much more work to do.
Yeah.
Right. Even with the Marriage Altaer, like we're gonna be on the road. We're gonna be doing stuff, and so like we truly want to be able to make this what ministry is, and you cannot have ministry apart from your family.
Right.
Like it can't be, my dad grew up and man, they was doing good work for the Lord, man. I just didn't see him much. That's not ministry.
Yeah. And I remember Tracy Ellis Ross, I'm just gonna put this out there. She said one thing that I loved about her mom, Diana Ross, is that she was at their bedtime every night. No matter if she was singing, dancing, had a concert, like she made sure she tucked them in every night. And I was like, I love that. Like, I know it's not going to happen all the time, but just to make it a priority to be like, okay, let's not be those type of parents. It's like, we just never involve
being
our
very
kids.
intentional.
Being intentional and present.
If I win in ministry, in business, and I lose my family, I didn't win at all. I lost.
You were out of order.
And so, that's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You got to win, baby. I know you
I
said it was
do have
simple.
a win. Mine is very simple, but I feel like this week, today's Thursday. Yeah, this week, I've been a mom. Like,
Come on,
you know
Mom.
what I'm saying?
She been momming.
I've been momming because I've been so used to Kadero's parents have been here for like 3 months, right? So they've just been helping tremendously with like Novi.
You loved every
I'm like,
bit
oh,
of it.
kick back. Like, y'all got this. I'm
Get
good.
some work done.
Yeah, and then it was like, we went out of town, and my mom went with us, and so she was helping with Novi. But now it's like this week, reality hit. Like, all right,
And that baby
back to the
active.
drawing board. And she is active, like,
Yeah.
She
so I'm like,
active.
girl.
But y'all have a schedule, right? Or no?
You don't use the schedule anymore?
No,
We saw that schedule on your fridge. We were
Listen,
like, wow.
Oh, yeah. No, we
Now
do
that we
go
by
we
that.
do
She
go
just
by
knows it by
that.
heart.
Okay.
That
Yeah,
was
I
more
know
so
it by
for the
heart, though.
family
Yeah.
when we were gone. to
Oh,
know.
okay.
Yeah.
She know that. She
We
know
were
that by heart.
impressed. You understand?
Yeah.
We were impressed because when our boys were younger, we didn't like schedule was not.
Let me tell you about them jokers. So, I used to work. Well, was that before the boys were born? I just remember there were times where I would come home really, really late, and they be up as if they worked. The
and
evening
we
shift.
were unbothered. It didn't bother us. We was just like,
Oh, really?
I
So they didn't
mean-
have like a bedtime.
Yeah, we didn't do that well. With
Oh,
the,
okay.
no.
Okay.
But you know what? I don't remember
They
it
turned
being.
out fine.
Yeah.
once they started school, then
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
gotcha.
for a minute.
But before that, it was like,
Yeah, nah, they be up. Them jokers be. I mean,
just having a good time.
Right.
these kids nowadays, man, they got
They built
iPads,
different.
iPhones. They got all kinds of YouTube channels.
Yeah.
Not
Like,
YouTube channels.
but like my boys, they kept themselves busy. They
Yeah.
Even if it was reading a book, they was doing something.
yeah, they was doing stuff,
Wow.
and so we didn't like. All right, it's 6:00, time for bed.
Yeah.
We just didn't do that, and I don't
Yeah.
think it was intentional. We just didn't make the intentionality to have a bedtime.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But it didn't. Now, I do know if it would have became stressful, it'd have been like, okay,
Nah,
y'all,
yeah,
finna,
y'all need to go to bed.
Yeah.
But they were so self-sufficient that it didn't. They weren't really like
Yeah,
all
there's some
in our
parents
face
right
and
now
stuff.
talking, oh, y'all were
Yeah.
bad parents.
Yeah.
I'm sure somebody is like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that.
That's why their children are for them and y'all's children are for
Nah,
y'all.
it worked. It
yeah.
worked.
When they
So,
started school though,
Yeah.
that bedtime was implemented.
Yeah.
come on, implement it.
Yeah, but that's I feel like we're totally from where we're going. But that's so interesting. You said their children for them and your children for you, because I
Yeah.
do feel like God graced your kids for you,
Yeah.
and it's something that how well Novi does when we travel,
Yeah.
because it's almost like God specifically
Designed her.
graced her and designed her for this is the life that you probably going to be living. You're going to go with mommy and daddy for this. So the
Yeah.
ability to be walking around the airport like it's
I mean,
nothing.
them little legs was
Them little
working,
legs
too.
be moving.
And you know, 2 of y'all steps was like 5 of her
Right.
steps.
That
And
girl
she
was
be
rolling.
moving, and you would think, oh my gosh, she's gonna be exhausted and go start and just
Yeah.
have a fit. Nah, she good.
She
like
was good the whole time.
yeah, you give her some food and a snack.
Yeah.
She's like, I got my little bar in my
straight.
hand, this
Yeah.
hand. I got my water in this hand. Let's go, mommy,
Yeah.
daddy. Like,
Let's go, mommy, daddy.
Look, she was built for that.
Now I will
like
say
built
this.
for that.
So with our boys, Bree was very active. Bree had a bedtime, but our boys, they did not. But I will say this too. They weren't. I mean, they were kids, obviously, so they got into stuff or whatever. But our boys didn't do like the temper tantrum thing.
Yeah.
They weren't like the terrible twos thing. I was waiting on them days, and they never really
Yeah.
came.
Yeah, we keep claiming terrific too.
Yeah.
That's what we say.
Yeah, they,
Yeah.
they didn't like. They didn't just uncontrollably drop in public
Yeah.
and just be screaming.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, we didn't
yeah,
experience
we
no.
didn't experience that stuff. And honestly, remember, I wasn't the parent I am today. Back then, I
Yeah.
was like, boy, look, I will hang you upside down.
And then like with Bree, with her having a bedtime, they're like 8 years apart.
They're 8 years. Her and my oldest Trey is 8. They're
So,
8 years apart.
Yeah, when she was younger, she did. But by the time they were around, she didn't either. They was all this up.
They just
that's funny.
Nice. Well, y'all ready to talk about what we came to talk about?
Yeah,
yeah.
Icebreaker?
Let's do it.
Icebreaker?
Let's do it. I'm down for
Yes.
an icebreaker.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is an icebreaker, and because our topic is love language. So for our
Speak that.
I
icebreaker,
don't know why that came to my
we
head.
are
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
we are gonna try to guess
Ooh.
each other's love language.
Okay,
Each couple
so
try to guess
each
each
couple.
other.
each couple. So
Yeah.
we are gonna guess y'all's two love
Uh-huh.
languages and vice versa.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Okay, so let's say what the love languages are.
Yeah,
So we
yeah.
have physical touch, acts of service,
Yep.
quality time, receiving gifts, and words of affirmation.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so babe, I feel like Hope looks like a gifts girly.
Ooh, really?
Gifts girl.
I'm not. That's not my answer yet.
Okay.
But I'm thinking.
Wait,
out-
you saying that because her response?
I'm
Take it.
I'm processing.
I'm
You
sorry.
should have been like,
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. You sure? Okay. I'm processing.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm
is
bouncing
actually
between quality. I'm sorry. I'm bouncing between. Wait a minute.
It's a lot
I
of
think hers is quality time.
I was just finna say that too. There's a reason. Quality time. We gonna wait.
Okay.
We're gonna go to Kadera. So is that what we agreeing on?
Yeah.
Quality
Oh,
time.
Look at me answering. I said, yeah.
Is that's what? Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. Quality time. Kadero. I'm feeling like a. I'm feeling like a words of affirmation.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, you give
He
him.
trying to stay
you,
neutral.
Yeah, you trying to see his face.
You can get that poker face.
Yeah.
Man.
Maybe.
All right, so words of affirmation for Cadero
Uh-huh.
and quality time for Hope. So, what say ye?
Let's see.
Yes.
Okay. Back in the day, I was quality time.
Okay.
Okay, so we retired the quality time.
It's second.
It's
It's
a
second.
close second.
But right now, I'm on that physical touch.
Physical touch.
Hope-
Me
Touch
all
me,
day.
How, like,
Ooh.
come on now. She like to.
Caress me.
Uh-huh.
Oh, sorry. Oh, because part of the topic is love language and intimacy and connection.
That's right.
I think that
Come
song
on.
was
That's-
And
appropriate.
let me
Was
tell
it
you
not?
about the
It was.
connection. You only get the electricity when you get the plug in the
You felt it
socket.
earlier.
Yes.
They brought it back.
You brought it back.
brought
There
it.
it is, ladies and
Yeah,
gentlemen.
there it is.
Shit's
Yeah.
weird.
We're gonna stop.
Okay, so
Yeah.
quality time. It used to be quality
It used
time,
to.
Number 2.
but physical
Yes.
touch. That's your
Because
number
of
one.
his job, I was like, no, baby, I need quality time with you.
Yeah.
But now he's at home, so I get a lot of time with him.
We do get the quality
Yes.
time.
So it's physical touch.
Okay, physical touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
For me,
Uh-huh.
it's actually acts of service.
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Word of affirmation is a number 2, especially in the season we're in now. Words of affirmation has come up. I used to word was never a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I think since like kind of coming out of athletics, getting into this realm of ministry and just doing our words of affirmation has been up there for me.
Mhm.
But something about if she can take stuff off my plate, doing things to serve me, to take it off, I feel most love. Because I think I'm been always a servant.
Yeah.
So when somebody's able to serve me, I really feel like,
Come on,
they
sir.
really love. They showing me some love by serving me. So
Yeah. Okay.
acts of service.
All right.
Intimate.
That's very intimate.
Serving.
Well, there's no losers in the kingdom, so
There is not.
we won.
All right, what we thinking, Hope?
Okay, let's see. Let's start with the beautiful Ernestine.
Thank you.
Yes, I feel like I probably should have thought about this earlier. What do you think for Ernestine?
I'm thinking I was thinking like a quality time myself.
Figure out how to read you.
Yeah.
How to read you.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I would second that quality time.
Okay, we're going with quality time.
Yeah, let's go with
All right.
quality time.
Quality time.
All right,
Okay.
Don.
Don.
Mm.
First of all, do you know yours?
So there are officially 2 that really resonate with me.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're going for number 1.
Y'all tried
Let's
it.
do.
Yeah.
Let's do. I think acts of service. What do you think?
I'm thinking in this season right now, words of affirmation.
Yeah, you're right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's go with
Go
that
with
one.
that one.
Okay.
All right. So
Okay.
Don, words of affirmation.
Yes.
Ernestine, quality time.
All right, baby, tell them.
So I feel like I have a tie. I really connect with several of them.
Oh
Mhm.
yeah.
I think we all do.
Yeah. Not a tie though.
A tie.
I can't have a,
pick
I
one?
can't
You
have a
can have
tie.
a tie.
Okay, sure.
Okay, so I feel like in this season,
Mm-hmm.
nothing. In this season, Lord, I can't talk. I want to go with quality time.
She said, I want to go with.
Yes, she did. Like it's a
I
game
wanna
show.
go-
I want to go with 3, Alex. Yeah,
And-
3.
All
That's
right.
it.
All right. Quality time.
And I want to go with acts of service.
Okay, so quality time. So we
we-
technically got one.
Yeah.
Now, in a former season, it was words of affirmation.
Okay.
Mm.
And I realized why it was that. Remember how I said that I wasn't like, I was looking for someone to affirm me.
Yep.
And, and then God, he gathered me.
Uh-huh.
He gathered me. And was like,
gathered.
you're looking for this affirmation to come from him and it's supposed to come from me.
Yes.
So once I really learned who I was in Christ and my value in Christ, now words of affirmation is like icing on the cake instead of the cake itself.
Right. I want to make sure
That's
that the world understands that you're not telling them, as long as you are affirmed by God, you don't need your husband to affirm
No,
you.
Right,
That's
right.
not,
No.
that's not
Yeah.
the case.
I'm saying that if he doesn't, all is not going to fall apart.
Right.
Right.
You need to know who you are and have your
Right.
identity in check before you even get married.
Yeah.
That's both husband and wife.
That's a whole
Yeah.
nother podcast.
And so everything else, like you said, is the icing on the cake.
Yep.
But you can't come in that thing completely depleted of identity
Right.
and expect that your husband or your wife is going to help your identity become valuable all of a sudden because they're just not powerful enough to uphold that.
Yeah.
And it's not their place to.
Yeah.
Right? And so, no, that's good.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Sweet. So I told y'all I bounced between the two, but I'm going to tell you what my number one is after I tell you the two I was bouncing. So y'all actually hit both of them.
Did we?
Yeah. So it's actually words of affirmation and I say quality time, acts of service.
Acts of service.
But my number one, I would have to say, is acts of service. Okay. Like, because I grew up not expecting nothing because I never really received anything. And so there's always this thing in the back of my mind that, and she'll even tell you, I used to get like kind of depressed around my birthday because I expected it to not be good. Now,
Gotcha.
The childish part of me was, it was rooted in childhood. I didn't really have birthday parties. Like I didn't have that, but I would go to friends' birthday, and I was like, man, I don't ever have no birthday party. And I think that thing just kind of stuck in the back of my mind. And I've had them since then, but I'm just saying, like, over the years, growing up with that little mentality or even disappointment in the back of my mind, I always felt like people didn't care to do nothing for me. So that was always kind of a big thing for me. Or at least that's where it kind of developed. Now, it's in a healthy place now. I love because it's always a surprise because I don't be expecting nothing from people.
Yeah.
So when it happens, I'm like, man, I appreciate it.
That was nice. Yeah.
I like,
Feel loved.
Yeah. So that's my biggest thing.
Did it ever used to be receiving gifts?
Yes, that was a part of it as well. I feel like I was kind of depleted on all of them.
Yeah. Were you ever like gifts?
Huh?
Were you ever like you needed gifts or
it
wanted
was
gifts?
not needed, but it's like icing on the cake also.
Yeah.
But part of that could be because I'm very frugal. So I will receive a gift, and in the back of my mind, I'm like, how much you spend on that?
Let me tell y'all, I can't buy this girl nothing.
Really?
She gonna be like, babe. I'm like, baby, just receive it.
Just receive the gift.
That's
and
me.
I think it was because like earlier on in our marriage, we was a little financially challenged.
We was tight.
Y'all and us both. Yeah.
So because of that, like, and I'm looking at numbers and all that kind of stuff. So in my mind, I'm like, wait a minute, that wasn't in the budget.
Right. Where the money coming from?
The reason why it's acts of service and not gifts, because it doesn't always have to be in the form of a gift for me. Like times when I'm really blessed, like where I feel really like where my acts of service bug is hit or whatever, is like there'd be random days where she'd be like, I'm gonna cook breakfast this morning. Like, and it'd be a whole thing. And especially if it's on a Saturday, because that takes me back to my childhood, like Saturday morning cartoons and like that kind of, just that thoughtfulness, like, baby, you want pancakes? And I'm like, yeah, dude.
I want pancakes.
What do you even think about pancakes?
Sprinkle on that pancake.
You know what I mean? But it's the fact that she thought about it.
Yep.
And I love that. So it doesn't always have to be gifts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or it could be like, I'll come home, like, and I know this sounds so trivial, but this is just me. I am not a bed maker. If I was living alone, my bed would never be made. I will get up and walk out.
Is that you too?
It's kind of like we getting back in it.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying?
Who are you making it up for?
It's supposed to look like a magazine.
Ain't nobody in there.
Normally, I have my
feel
days. I
good.
feel like I have my days. Like some days I'm like, I want the room to look like it's supposed to look, right? But other days I'm like, we getting back in the bed later tonight. What's the point?
It makes me happy to walk through the room.
No, I do.
Together.
I will admit.
Yeah.
I will admit that there's something that happens to you internally about a clean space.
Yes, I do agree
So
with that.
but
That is
I'm
so
just
true.
saying I ain't doing it.
You ain't the one.
And so, but there are times where I'll come home and I'll notice like she made the bed. I'm like, because how I'm thinking of it, I know I'm not gonna do it. So in my mind, I'm thinking she don't have to do it either. But when she does, I'm like, oh, she chose
That was
to.
nice. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like she chose. I notice it.
Yeah.
I probably need to do better about acknowledging. Like, man, thank you for doing that.
Hold on a second. Hey Siri, set a reminder to make the bed small and breakfast on Saturday. Thank you.
She getting them points.
Now let me see your phone and see if Siri
Right.
actually heard
See,
you.
she actually did it.
Reminder.
Yeah. I cannot.
But no, I do. I really appreciate those things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah.
awesome.
That's dope. Now let me ask you this: how do you think knowing each other? So now that you've heard it, you've heard each other's. How do you think that helps in strengthening your emotional connection with each other? Now that you know, for her, that quality time acts of service as well.
Yeah.
And I think it's kind of cool because for you guys, that acts of service is both of you guys.
So y'all are out serving each other.
Yeah,
I got a
like,
better picture.
I'll serve it.
You do it.
I
You do
just
it.
saw us fighting in these like butler tuxedos.
Right.
It was just-
It's the visuals.
I just don't know where that came from.
I know for some people they're like, because I've heard women say, I don't want to have to tell my man to do this and that. I want him
Yeah.
to just do it. Why doesn't he just know?
Yeah.
But for me, like him knowing and him actually doing it intentionally, it makes me feel more loved.
Yep.
That he wants to do
Yep.
what fills my tank.
And I'll say this too, like we men sometimes, or we really are oblivious sometimes.
we are very
Really?
oblivious.
No, I'm kidding.
like
Sometimes we just need to hear you say it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
We're not mind readers.
Or
Yeah.
there are times where I actually think I'm doing a good job.
Facts on facts on facts.
Like I actually think I'm.
I
you know
thought
what
I
I'm
was
saying?
killing it.
And you know,
Yikes.
there's some times where there's been times in the past where she's like, "Babe, I want you to really compliment me more." I was like, "Dang." I thought I was. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes you be like, and as men sometimes, especially me, I'll say me for sure. I'm sure men go through this. When our wives come to us to say and request something, we internalize that as you ain't been doing it.
Yep.
You ain't been doing it at all.
Yeah.
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 Yes.
And I'm like, no, that's not what that
Yes,
means.
right.
We're not saying you're not doing it at all.
Right.
We saying
It's like y'all take it on
pump up the
personally,
volume.
like, oh my gosh,
take it on
I
person.
disappointed her. Or like
I
I
take
Yeah,
it
it's
totally
like
personal.
you ain't
Yeah.
been doing it, sucker.
Yeah.
I've
And
never come
that's
to you
not
like
the
that.
case.
No, and
at
she's
all.
never come to me like
Yeah.
that. But because it means something to her,
Yeah.
it does mean something to me. And when I feel like, and a lot of times she's like, "Babe, I just really wish you would do this more." I'm like, "Oh crap!" Like,
I'm not.
I haven't
Oh,
been
y'all are so the same in that. Yes, it must be
Extra.
men.
It's
Yeah.
extra.
because in my mind, if it's on you enough to bring it up, that
Yeah.
means you've been sitting with it and you've been thinking about it, which makes me feel like I ain't been doing
Been
it,
doing it.
Ugh.
It's not always.
or
It's not
doing
always-
it enough.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you this, Ernestine. Okay. So, like, when he goes to those places, do you feel like you shrink back sometimes in telling him what you need? Or do you feel like he's just gonna
baby.
get it and hear what I got to say?
No, baby. I don't shrink back, but I do make sure I'm doing it in love.
Yeah.
And I make sure that I'm reassuring him also. I think like the other day, I don't remember what it was. It don't matter what it was, but it was something where you kind of like, well, it makes me feel like da-da-da. And I just reassured
yeah.
you, like, that's not what I was saying. And I actually think you have been doing it. I have noticed it. I'm just asking for blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
Now, do y'all take our words seriously when we say that? Like, no, it's not that y'all haven't been doing it. Like, y'all been doing a good job. It's just in addition to that, like, I need X, Y. Like, do y'all believe us?
I think for the most, for me,
the most part.
for the most part, I do believe it. But there are parts of me that feels like she's wanting to not cause issues and maybe even kind of spare my. I don't want to say my feelings, but yeah, but like I don't want you to feel down in the dumps and like a jerk because I know you're not doing it intentionally.
Right.
So I feel like sometimes there is a sparing there. But for the most part, if she tells me like, "Hey, it's not that you haven't been doing it at all," I do believe it because I do feel like. I mean, the whole reason why I'm shocked is because in my mind I was like, I thought I have been.
You thought you was killing it. Yeah.
Like maybe not killing it, but I,
Killing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe
that
not
was killing
I thought I was killing it. Just saying.
yeah,
Right.
killing it.
Killing it.
Killing it. Nah.
Okay.
No, but if I did feel like, well, no, you haven't been doing it, I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would.
So my question for the ladies is, how long are y'all sitting on that before you bring it up? Like, is it like, you know what? I feel beautiful today. He ain't told me. I'm finna go tell him he ain't been telling me I'm beautiful. Or like, is it like, man, there's been a couple of times where I know I've been killing it. You know what I'm saying? Got my best eyebrows, my best lashes,
Not
or
the
whatever you
best
want to call it.
eyebrows. Like, it's options.
I would say this before you answer that. Like for us, especially with her love language being physical touch, and then we've read something about hugging and like need like a certain number of hugs
Oh yeah.
to like survive. Like there's survival, there's a thriving like, and so we at one point were like having like
marking it off.
it off. Every
Oh, so
time
y'all
we
actually
hug.
had it written down.
We had
Yeah.
it like we were just like this board
Hug,
of the
okay.
hug, and then we just mark it that we hugged because a lot of times we get so busy, like with her, with
Yeah.
me at work, and we're here in the same house,
But yeah,
but
just
we're
like
not.
sometimes
We're just
passing.
crossing, we're just
Yeah.
passing by, and so those are those moments where for her it's like she has to bring it up, especially one because hey, we're low on our number, and we need to at least hit 12 to feel like we're thriving. Two, if we haven't been hugging, that means you haven't been touching me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I feel loved.
Yeah.
So
Now I
go
touch
ahead and
her.
answer your
I
question.
touch her every night at home, but not like that. Look at how.
What?
You said I touch it every night.
Like so, I'm a touchy guy when we're asleep at night.
Gotcha.
Like whether she knows it all the time or not. Like there are times, like matter of fact, this morning, like I was laying in bed, went and got the boys up for school, came and laid back down because I was tired still, so I went and laid back down.
Okay.
And I'll just rub her on her thigh.
Come on, Dad.
Did you notice? So I had shifted.
Right.
Hold on.
I-
What?
Oh, you shifted for that thigh to be
No, I
exposed.
didn't.
For him to touch
Keep it PG.
Why?
I shifted because I was in an uncomfortable position, and so he stopped. And what did
Oh.
I do?
And she grabbed my hand.
Oh,
And I
okay.
thought she was wanting to just have my hand on her. But she did when she put my hand on it. And then I just did like that. And she said,
You mobilized it.
Not mobilized. Keep it moving.
She said, "Keep rubbing."
I just was shifting, bro. I was just shifting. So
But-
yeah, I did notice, and I
but
appreciate
that is
it.
something that I
Yeah.
typically do is I'll rub her back while
Yeah.
I'm like, it didn't be in the middle of the night. I'll just wake up and I'll toss and
Now
turn.
let me ask this.
Yeah.
I know we're going off topic because y'all did ask us a question, but I do have a
Right.
question. Now, do you enjoy rubbing her back, or is it like, oh, I gotta rub her back?
No. It's always my idea.
But she said, "Do you enjoy it?"
I don't.
Think about it. You
Take
can tell
time.
the truth. 'Cause I don't.
Okay, first, before I say that, let me answer the question.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it, but what I was gonna say was, I chose to do it, not out of obligation.
So, like, you're not the type that you're like, oh, can you rub my back?
No, she doesn't ever ask.
Really? Girl, I'm always asking.
like rub back, like
No.
back
See,
massage
so
type,
I think
or
we're
just-
talking about something different. I'm just saying, like, when we're asleep at night,
Yeah.
and I wake up a lot at night
Mhm.
and toss and turn, reposition, whatever, and I'll just reach over and just rub her back. It's just as a touch point,
Gotcha.
like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
It's just kind of
Come
a
on,
back,
touch
not
point.
a massage, but just like I'll just rub her
Gotcha.
back
Yeah.
Yeah.
because she likes that.
Back
Yeah.
is his
Yeah.
pacifier.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay, there she is.
There she
His voice.
There
Wait,
she
who
is.
is it? I don't know who that is. Okay. So, Ernestine, they
I don't
asked
remember the question.
The question was,
How long y'all-
how
Oh, yeah,
long
how
do
long
y'all
we
sit
sit
on
with
it
it.
before y'all say something?
I can't
It
sit on it
varies.
too long, to be honest. If something pops like inside of me, I have to say it.
But at what point do you recognize and notice? So, like, for example, if physical touch is a thing for you, he does it pretty frequently. At what point would you recognize that he hadn't did it? Like,
As I reflect back that day, like, we haven't really touched each other. Like, and I'll say something at night, or like, I'll kind of initiate it sometimes. Or like, even the complimenting thing. Like, I know it was this, I think this past Sunday. Like, I came in, I thought, was that East? I don't know. What's Sunday? I don't know.
Easter was past Sunday, yeah.
Yeah, and Kadera was like, well, if I haven't told you today, you look beautiful. And I was like, well, thank you. Thank you. Because I'd heard it from everybody else that day, right? And not to like toot my own horn, but I was like, dang, because we hadn't seen each other because he left early to be at church early.
Mm-hmm.
So I came in the building. I'm like, oh, I'm getting it from everybody else. And then I was like, thank God he said it, because that just made me feel good. Like, you noticed and
Yeah,
you said
baby,
it.
I did.
And I appreciate that.
I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sorry you say it soon.
It's okay.
I mean, but that,
No.
but that's me though, because I get in work mode.
Yeah, he
right?
does.
So in that
So
thing, I'm
that-
serving and I'm working, and even with touching her, it's like this mode I go into.
Yep.
I'm working and
Yep.
I get tunnel vision. So the little things of touching or saying, "Hey, you look good today."
Yeah.
I just
Now, I do acknowledge, for me, I have to do better on how I tell her. Like, because I tell her in my way.
What's your way?
In my way.
What's your way?
Like, so naturally, if you don't know, you probably nobody really knows this about me. My wife knows this about me. I can be awkward.
Oh.
And I avoid awkward situations. Yes. I avoid awkward situations. And she knows it, and she does it on purpose sometimes. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Oh, you talking about the dancing?
It don't matter what it is.
I do that.
So I can be. There are moments where, I don't know if this is the right word, but there's moments where I can be a little bashful.
Come on, bashful.
I don't know if that's the right word though. But so for example, she'll want to hug me. And she'll just look in my eyes and be like,
I hold it. I'm counting 1.
And you're probably like,
and I'm just like,
I can see in his face that he's uncomfortable, but I'm like,
I don't do like the mushy, like just gaze into my eyes and tell me how much you love me.
Yeah.
And
he
I'm
didn't
just
get
like,
a lot of that, you know.
So it's awkward.
It's awkward for me to do that.
Right. So our marriage counselor was like, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Has it gotten any better since the beginning, or?
Oh, the beginning of our marriage. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I didn't do it at all.
Girl, yeah.
Nice.
get away from me.
I didn't do it at all.
Right.
But it's not that I don't want to do it, and it's not that I don't think that she's beautiful or that I want to be engaged in some
we know that.
It's
I'm
just
like,
okay. See, these are one of those moments.
I know that.
I'm just kidding.
But I think for me, I think it's not about her.
Yeah.
It's
and I know
about,
that.
for me, I think I'm internalizing how I look. I'd be like, okay, I know I look dumb. Like, so I'm just like, because I'm not the type of person just look. So I can't even do it right.
So what he tells me is, if he does do something, don't make it awkward. Don't draw attention to it. Just receive.
Yeah.
And do you do
Don't
a
be
good
like,
job at that?
Well, there are moments where I'm like, oh, and he's like,
You just made it weird.
Yeah. Like, don't make it weird. Just take it.
Right
Like, I'll be like, I'll be like, baby, I think you look beautiful today. Or I'll be like, I'm gonna come give her a hug. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna give you. And so she.
Hold on, you tell her you're gonna give her a hug, or you just
no.
no.
This is
But
in your mind.
as I'm walking
gotcha.
to her side if I walk to her side of the bed, she automatically is assuming I'm coming to give her a hug.
So I get into the position of receiving. I make it so awkward.
Right.
I'll be walking over there to grab the remote, and she'll be like, oh, you come give me a hug.
Y'all are too cute.
But you've done that, and I was just like, I guess so.
Hanging in the balance. Like, what are we doing?
Or it'd be something like, this one is not embarrassing, it's just more funny. Or I'll be like for example, this just happened before we walked in the studio. She had a Snickers wrapper stuck to her back of her pants.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, hey, babe, hold on real quick. You got some on your pants. She knows what I'm doing. Uh-huh. And she be like, you back there being man.
Ernestine, I love it. I mean, look, you back there anyway, so it's like...
I'm goofy as well, so...
So, yeah, it's not an issue.
Oh, gosh.
But I'm just saying there are it's more of the more sentimental moments where I'm just awkward and she'll just want to sit there and just like... gaze into my eyes.
Because he said to keep doing it.
I think it's
trying
good.
to help you.
I feel you. I'm just saying I be feeling awkward and it's not because of her. I be feeling like I look dumb because I don't do the whole. I feel like I just feel like it's scary. It's like
scary. Speaking of scary, have you ever stared at your face up close in the mirror?
That is scary. I've done that. Especially if you do it at night. It's weird.
Do it tonight. Do it tonight. I promise you.
I could have sworn you was about to say something related to what we was talking about. So that just threw me.
The whole staring and looking made me think
It is weird. When you look at yourself up close in the mirror, just sit there for a while, though.
Okay.
You start freaking out a little bit.
Okay. We got to do it today.
Everybody's going to go home and look in the mirror.
I promise you it is. It's weird.
Is it? Okay. I'll try it.
I don't know what happened to us just now.
Yeah.
It was me.
Yo,
Yeah.
I had a squirrel moment and we went with it.
Not a squirrel moment.
Cause look, I'm sitting here and when Al was talking, I'm thinking, did they ever answer my initial question?
Oh, what was your question?
How knowing that they're
I did.
Yeah.
okay.
I was saying, what did I say? That when
He's like,
well, that's me. You out here.
I said that basically knowing that you intentionally are doing these things makes me feel loved, and it draws me emotionally to you. What about you, buddy?
The connection. Like, do I feel like how do I feel like it strengthens the connection?
Yeah.
I feel like what it does, just kind of like what we just got through laughing about for the past 5 minutes.
Yeah, we did.
I think that for me, which ultimately strengthens our bond, is it does help me. The more I do it, the more I get comfortable doing it. Like with the awkward stuff we was just talking about, like there are times where I have to prepare.
Yeah.
Like I know I need to go give her a hug, or something random, because I try to do things in a random, like at random moments, not when you're supposed to do them.
Yep.
But like there are times where I'll walk over to her side of the bed and I'll give her a hug, or you know what I mean, or I'll slap her on the butt.
Come on.
Just
Come
you know,
on.
Come on, slap.
Come on, slap.
Come on,
and so
on, sound
what I
effect.
do, I think that it strengthens it because it makes her feel like I'm thinking about her in different ways. You know what I mean? And I think one of the things that we do, which is not a love language, but I feel like there should be like a spiritual love language, is we pray together every morning. And sometimes I'll forget because I'm getting like what you were saying, is I kind of get into like work mode, and I be telling her, and she be thinking I'm telling her because I'm trying to rush off the phone. So she'll be like, I know you got work coming up. Like, 'cause I'll be like, okay, I gotta go. I got stuff to do.
Yeah.
But like those things, I think, specifically prayer in the mornings, it is helpful, and it is an energy booster, and it does add to the strength of our connection. Even though that's not technically a love language, but I think it is.
Yeah.
For spiritual couples, and so I think it strengthens.
I think it's there's an intimacy piece of it, right? Like,
Well,
there's
it shows that
physical intimacy,
Yeah.
there's emotional, there's a spiritual intimacy, and I think
That's true. That is true.
That piece of praying together is heightening that spiritual intimacy.
Right. Yeah. I can't really love my wife. I can't love like her natural beauty, and love her mind, and love her heart, and love, the character that she has, and then not love her soul.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I have to love her soul. I have to care about her soul.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And so the spiritual aspect is the biggest piece, because the soul is the thing that's going to live forever.
Yeah.
The natural state, her beauty, the Bible says beauty fades.
That part.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
indeed.
Like one day we going to be looking
Busted.
dirt old. You know what I'm saying? And all of that, like my knees ain't going to do the same as doing today. They already not doing the same it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, the one thing that's going to be here for all of eternity is her soul.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure that while we're on this earth, and as long as it's I say my responsibility, but it's within my power to assist into making sure that I care for her soul and that her soul is well.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to strengthen our connection.
Yes.
And the
So
natural.
We're going to deem spiritual as a love language.
That's it.
That's the sixth one.
Yeah.
Why
So
you
you got to
say it
talk
like
like
that?
that when you talk
And whisper
spiritual.
it. It makes it more mysterious.
Yes, wisdom too. What about you, babe? As far as
How it's like strengthens our connection. Like knowing, for me, I think it is, I'd say me being intentional to do it prior to you asking. And I usually see it on your face. Like when where I'm like, let me go give her a hug.
thank you.
And when I do it, it's this like, oh, he did
Yeah.
it himself.
Yeah.
He took initiative. He was intentional. And I think that just opens up your heart,
Yep.
occasionally your leg. No.
Wow.
Welcome to
mean,
the altar.
Welcome to the altar. No,
ain't
but
lying.
I
he
was
ain't
so
lying.
caught off guard. I was not
He ain't
expecting
lying.
that one.
I mean,
Come on
not
to
at all.
Part to see.
I mean, we need it. Was this TVMA? Mature audiences.
Come on, TVMA. Come on and part to see.
Right.
But no, I think it does strengthen like that bond, knowing that for you, it's like he sees me.
Yeah.
And he's understanding what I need, how and what I need to feel loved.
Yeah.
In moments, especially when you've had long days, especially you feeling annoyed by whatever it may be. And just to say, because you get energized
I
by
do.
the touch
It's
in my
so
hugs.
yeah. I literally do. Like I can be having a horrible day, and if Kadero comes and hugs me, like it's a breath of fresh air. Like it's just like a fresh wind.
Come on,
That's what
fresh
they
wind.
say.
I was
So
gonna
it's
make a
just
wind
like
blowing sound.
oh, thank you. You got me.
That's the ruach.
Why was it so short?
It's so short.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah, but it's like it gives me energy, and I feel like as a mother, you know, like you give so much, and it's like people are pulling at you, little babies, whatever, like, and it's just like you took the time to think about me and how I'm doing, and like give me just a hold, because I'm holding her all day, so it's like somebody hold me, you know,
Hold me, baby.
hold me. But it was so funny. I had no idea that Carol did this, but it was the other day. You were No, it was was that Sunday?
It was Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, so he was leaving for church, and I was starting my morning routine. Started by using the bathroom, right? And so I'm sitting on the toilet, and Carol texts me. What was the first thing you texted?
I just said, "Love you."
Yeah, he was like, "I love you," and so I'm like, "I'll get it." I was like, "Oh, you know, that's sweet." And then you were like,
I said, "I miss you too."
Yeah, and so I'm like, "Oh snap! Like, where did this come from?" Like, I'm just getting excited.
Send like a GIF back or something like that.
And then he was like, "Are you pooping?" And I was like, "No." And then I was like, "Why?" And then I look up, and he's standing in our bedroom, like looking at me.
I'm watching her the whole time.
The whole time.
The whole
time.
I left my phone, so I came back in, and when I saw her, she's like down on her phone, like she's glued. She never looks up and hears me come back in. So I'm like, let me just text her. So I text her, and I think for me it was like that feeling of me saying I love you, and the smile on her face was like, yo, that's kind of like. I still have that effect. It's like, okay,
yeah, you do.
You still got it. Like,
you do.
Like,
you killing it. You killing it.
Come on, effects.
And so I'm like, love you, miss you. But she had not looked up the whole time.
Yeah.
So then, okay, here I go with my goofy self. You pooping?
Yeah. I was like,
and then why you on the toilet so long? And she probably was like, how does he know I'm
right? And that's when I looked up, because I was
she
like,
looks up and cracks up laughing, and it was just like,
always watching.
Find out if you was pooping or not.
And you did find out I was not pooping.
No, you were.
Okay.
I think that we're done.
Enough with the poops.
Enough with the poops. We're done.
But yeah, just in that moment of like watching her and just like seeing the smile on her face of like saying just I love you, like, and I miss you type thing was just like for me, made me feel good to see just the smile, like it's still.
So did you have a response?
Oh yeah,
No.
your response to the strengthening of the connection, because you just added that example, which was beautiful.
Yeah.
But what is your response of how?
Or do you have one?
My love language strengthens our.
I'm trying to give
Hold
it
on,
away
because
out.
I got two people asking me questions at the same time.
My bad. Go ahead. Listen to your husband.
Answer the question of how does knowing my love language strengthen our connection?
Knowing your love language.
Mm-hmm.
I would say kind of like the same thing. It's simple, like the same thing that you said. It's like if I'm able to do something for you, then it puts us, I feel like, in a headspace of wow, they care, or like wow, they thought about me.
Exactly.
And so that kind of opens you up to wanting to do more for them, or like, you know, wanting to just serve. And I think like you said earlier, like serving is so important, and like I like it too, but I know like for you, like that is your zhuzh, like you just, and it kind of stinks because like I don't like to do stuff, like, you know, I don't want to clean like it's not like it's stuff I don't want to do, but I know that it means a lot to him. So I know like the other night he went to go grab us some food, and I could have just stayed on the couch, you know, but I was like, normally he shuts down the kitchen and like does the dishwashing and all that stuff, and I was like, let me just go ahead and get myself up and do these dishes. And I did the dishes, and it's like just he felt like that was big because he was like, well, now, you know, once we finish eating, like it's one less thing that I have to do. And so it just put us in a good space, like to make you feel like the other person's thinking of you. So I feel like it's always a strengthener
Warm and
there.
fuzzy.
Yeah, keep it warm and fuzzy.
So is there ever, this goes for you too, Steve, is there ever a moment where you maybe, right, so out of the 5 love languages, right, have you ever done something that was outside of your partner's or your spouse's actual love language with the intention of like, you know what, you know, I know she's not a big, you know,
Gift receiver.
yeah, whatever, but you do that and then they don't really respond to it, and does it ever make you feel like, does it ever feel like a miss for you? Have you ever encountered
I'll
that?
say this. I know for Valentine's Day, Kadero got me this watch, right?
Okay.
Along with like flowers and stuff or whatever. And I looked at it, but this was on my Christmas list as well. So one, it meant a lot to me because I was like, oh my gosh, like he kept my Christmas list and got it for Valentine's Day or whatever. But then I just felt weird, if I'm honest. I was like, why am I getting excited about a gift? Like, I was looking like, I'm not a gold digger or anything. I was like,
I ain't
why?
saying she a gold digger.
But I was like, normally I'm not materialistic like that. But it was just, I think for me, it was more so the thought of he held on to a Christmas gift, or like my Christmas list, and like thought about getting it for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Which was like, oh wow, he kept my things in mind.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's ever been a time where it's like it was felt like a miss.
And maybe miss is not the right term.
Yeah, but just like she didn't receive it the way. Like,
maybe you felt like, man, maybe I probably should have did something else, or maybe this ain't important to her.
Oh, you got something?
I was about to say that one of our first Christmases, Kadero got me like some stuff, and it was just more so like I didn't like it. But it was like he came to me and he was like, I feel like you didn't really like that gift. Like I was like, no, it really wasn't.
Dang, how'd you feel, bro?
I'm trying to. It wasn't the pocketbook stuff.
Yeah, it was. It was.
I was just like, because I knew she liked pocketbooks, so I was like, damn, I'm doing this. I'm
You
getting
thought
up.
she
He was
did.
killing it.
I
That's
thought
what
I
he
was
said.
killing it. I had got these pocketbooks.
That boy was
but
about to get the
I think it was more so the style, and then it was just like, dang, I do not know my wife's style. Like, this ain't it. Like, so kind of, I felt bad, but she was good with it. But I kind of know when Hope don't like it, she just ain't gonna use it. Like,
same with my wife.
yeah, it's just like, thanks.
We'll tuck it away for another
She'll
day.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
and it'll go right in that closet.
Thank you for the thought. It goes in the closet. It's
Really?
collecting dust. So,
Oh boy.
So I have an answer. So
I know what he's gonna say.
no, you don't.
Okay, go ahead.
What am I gonna say? I'll tell you the truth.
That was a secret.
oh, secret.
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
No.
I leaned in for the secret.
She leaned in. No, so she shows appreciation now, but initially I didn't notice it. And so one of the things that she doesn't know, she won't know until this moment, is that our house, we have like a pretty decent or pretty big, I say pretty big, but I mean it's a big enough garden and yard, which requires intentional care. And so I think this started when we bought the house and moved in, maybe a little bit after. I would get out there in the yard and like either pull weeds or dig up stuff or plant stuff. I want my house to look nice, but I was also doing it for her.
Oh.
And so
I was being for real.
I was also doing it for her. And so there's a period of time where I was in the yard every day, either digging something up. I mean, listen, y'all, I done went out and spent hundreds of dollars on shovels, fertilizer, seeds, topsoil, mulch,
right.
all kinds of stuff, right? Because I wanted her to feel like she had a nice house.
Yeah.
The house is nice, but the yard can't be janky.
Yeah,
You know what I
that
mean?
part.
And so I went and got some lighting for the house. And so here recently, we decided that we was going to dig all that stuff up. And I know she wanted to help, but I kind of just been out there just doing it and getting everything dug up with the intention of we're going to start working on getting the landscaping really nice on that side where this big plant bed is. Anyway, but I remember there were times I was like, I don't know if she really cares.
I didn't know this was you doing.
I didn't want to be like, hey, so I'm doing this for you, right? Like, I live there too, so I do want it to look nice, but at the same time, there was a part of me that felt like I was doing it for her. Like, I wanted her to come outside and be like, dang, babe, you took care of the garden for us.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And at first I was like, maybe she don't really care. Okay, well, whatever. But then here recently, though, she has been saying, baby, thank you for, doing that. Thank you for digging up the plants, or thank you for whatever. And so, yeah.
It wasn't a miss. I don't think I realized what was happening at first.
Yeah.
I think you ended up telling me something about you and the boys had done something. I was like, oh.
Yeah, me and
then
my
I went
boys.
there and looked, and I came back in. I was like, thank you so much for doing that.
Yeah.
My wrist been acting up, so I was going to help, but I was concerned about my little wrist.
Yeah, you got to keep that wrist together.
Yeah, but that's it.
Yes. Something that I feel like that we're trying to get back to and we did it today, that our marriage counselor had us do was at the end of the day, he told us to sit down together and kind of talk about where we are physically. Tell me if I'm missing anything. Physically, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and our relationship. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And just spending that 5 minutes of talking. You're not allowed to just say good, bad. You have to like.
Guilty.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I'd be just like, it's good. And I remember last week or the week before she asked me, and I was kind of like not feeling it. Mm-hmm. And I didn't have an elaborate answer. Yeah. And so I was trying. So one thing about me, I always try to beat her to a point.
This is not a competition.
No, like meaning like I know how she's gonna respond to something I'm saying. Yeah. So I'll say what I'm saying, and then I'll answer the question that I know she's gonna ask.
You're gonna incorporate what she would have said.
So I'll be like I didn't feel like I didn't have like I just like I'm fine. Yeah. Like that's it. Like I didn't have a.
And that's why he told us to print out the emotions wheel so that you could have something other than fine, you know. Right. But anyway, keep going.
So I was just like, I'm good. I said I'm good. I don't have no big elaborate answer, but that's it.
That was more than just saying good.
Right. But the point of it though is so that you can connect and kind of really know where your partner is. Right. So we're trying to get back to that. And then he also suggested letting the kids sometimes see us do it just so that they can kind of see, okay, this is what healthy relationships do.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. Like, there are many times that I'm like, let's go. Can we go deeper? Like, I feel like we're just missing it sometimes. Like, because it seems so easy just to be like, oh, I'm good. Or like, you know.
He's like, no, that's not good enough. Our counselor was like, no.
Yeah.
You can't just stop there.
So can you say that again? So it's basically how you feeling physically,
mentally,
emotionally,
spiritually, and your relationship.
In your relationship.
So that gives you the opportunity to say something about if there is something in your relationship that you feel like isn't going well.
Now, it's twofold. It's either your relationship or relationships. Relationships that you have.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But that's your opportunity, though. If there is something here that you could talk about it and know it's a safe space for you to do it, just do it in love.
And and if it is something that you're not feeling hot about, like maybe you feel like, I'm not, like this person has to be understanding and just allow you to express that. Not be like, well, why do you like? Not necessarily why in terms of seeking understanding, but more so like, well, baby, I don't, like it's not the opportunity to provide solutions.
Yeah,
it's not the time. Like, well,
he did say that.
Yeah, it's like, well, I feel like, well, have you tried this? Like, that's not the time. Yeah, it's just letting them express how they're feeling themselves in that area and be like, wow, babe, okay, well, you know, either I'm sorry to hear that and I hope you feel better. Like just being in the moment with them.
Yeah, the point is like you hear each other, giving the space to hear each other and connect in that way. Yeah. So I love that. We just fell off from it for a little bit.
It's easy to forget, especially if you have a full day at work or something like that. It's just easy to forget.
Do you remember he did say that one person needs to be responsible for making sure that it happens? So even if you have a reminder on your phone, it's your job.
Yeah. And that person was supposed to be me.
that just made me think of something because we've been and it's I have the reminder and yet we still have not done it. So we started doing a slow dance every night.
Okay.
So we would.
He said, "Don't get any ideas."
You know how he said he feels uncomfortable.
I set an alarm so that every night, like,
what does that look like?
Literally, I just.
Is there music involved?
Yeah, like I'll pick a song.
So we
it
have
can
like
be whatever
a playlist,
song.
whatever.
It can be whatever song. Old school, new school, like just a slow song. And then we just slow dance.
And normally, like, we're just sitting on the couch and he'll get up and he'll be like, all right, you know, let's get up and dance.
And part of that is that physical touch. Part of it is just that intimacy, that reconnection after a day. And I think we haven't done it in a long time.
That alarm goes off every night. And I say, Kadero,
it's still going off.
It still goes off.
And I think because, like, we'll be doing something else that's technically our time together, whether it's watching a movie together or watching a show together. And it's like, oh, it's just... And so now, we need to get back to a place of figuring out what's the time to do
because we didn't change the time so many times to try to accommodate our schedules. It's like, I don't know, maybe just right before we go to bed, we just need to
I see y'all in that time out.
Right.
There has been times. There have been times we like literally hold each other in the bed, play the music,
and we like, dang, That lazy dance.
Just rock yourself to sleep.
We got that lazy dance going on.
We had nothing in the bed. We were turning towards each other.
Can Errol be like, you feel like getting up? I'm like, nah. I said, but we still got to dance, so we just in the bed.
Okay, so this is random. Side random
so
question. Do y'all have do y'all ever have those moments where you one of y'all are laying down in the bed, and you're getting ready for bed. That's it. You're in the bed. And then the other person who is the last person gets in the bed but don't turn the light off. And now both of y'all laying there talking about, so you gonna go turn the light off?
All the time, I feel like. Between that is usually the fan.
The fan.
With this one. I'm in the bed first. She gets in and she's like,
see, okay,
man,
let's talk about that though real quick. This is off topic, but let's talk about it. Because Kadero doesn't get, he gets ready for bed, but it takes him 2 seconds. Okay, so the thing is, he'll go in the room. He's like, brush my teeth in the bed. All lights on in the bedroom, in the bathroom.
Gone.
I'm like, help me shut the bedroom down. And the thing is, he's been caught sleep before I get in the bed. And I'm like, okay, so then this ain't right. But I'll be like, lay it in the bed. I get in the bed. Can you turn the fan on real quick? Because you done got all comfortable. You done got all settled.
Man.
You done started snoring. You having a good time. And the fan need to be turned on. So, and he closest to it. So,
What you over here talking about man for?
Because it's true. But let me tell you how I fixed the problem. Well, it still ain't fixed it, but
Lord.
it did help it. So what I did was, we have a lot of lights in the room.
Yeah.
So we have 2 lamps on our side of our bed, but then I have these 2 other little smaller lamps that give off lesser light that is connected to our headboard for those of us, me, who likes to read at night.
Yep.
But then we have the main light on the ceiling, and then we have 2 other lamps on the dresser.
got a lot of light.
Right? So what we do is all the lights be off except for the lamps on the 2 on the dresser, which gives off a lot of light. And then I have those plugged into a thing when I just have a remote on my side of the bed. And so I just hit the off button, and the lights go out.
That's
So I ain't got to
smart.
get up.
Yeah.
this one wish she had the clapper still.
I do. At nighttime,
when
I
she
be
forget,
like,
and she be like, oh man. Like,
and they said, no, it don't work
That
like
don't
that.
work.
I didn't know
No
they
more.
still sold that.
I don't. They're probably at CVS. I feel like there's, you know, a little random aisle. at CVS.
All the joints that
They
you
do
seen on
as
TV.
seen on TV. Let me tell you something. There ain't nothing that'll sell a product more than
Right.
those words.
As seen on
seen on
TV.
TV.
That part.
You ain't even see it on TV, but you just like, oh, this was on TV.
This is on TV. Must be hot. Get it?
That's funny.
Yeah.
I want to ask this question, and it's maybe harder for you guys because it's kind of your love language is kind of the same.
Okay.
But for those who like love language totally different, and that's not that other person doing that, it's like, ugh, how do they overcome that? Because for me, like physical touch, it like I it's fine when she touched me, but it's not like, oh yeah, she touched me, I feel love. And me doing that to her is like
The world.
it means the world to you,
Yeah.
but it takes all the energy in the world from me because it's not like it's not just the hugs and like she to mention the back rubs and she needs the massages and it's you know those moments of the massage doesn't need to lead to anything else.
Right.
I just want a nice massage, and it's like
Yeah, he be giving them good massages when he getting something in return. Yeah, I know how to read the room.
and so it's
Brother
like
Read the room.
Yeah.
read the room. And so like for me it's like trying to find like that deep like core. Okay, Kadero, how are you supposed to love your wife?
Well, where that servanthood
That's
that you was talking about that you
But I be
strongly-
tired.
I appreciate
Like-
this because I be thinking I'm the only one. I be thinking I'm a butthole. I just be like, I don't want to do this.
Right.
want to
No, it's
do
the
this.
same energy. I didn't feel like loading the dishwasher the other night, but I dug deep because
Not
I
dug
dug deep.
Or sometimes I don't feel like giving a massage, especially with my wrist.
What happened to this wrist? Let's talk
Let's
about
talk
that.
about this.
I don't
Because
know.
she keeps bringing up the wrist.
That baby.
That baby in her wrist.
That baby needs some Epsom salt.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel
You
like
dig deep.
Yeah, you gotta dig deep.
For me, it's like not to get all churchy, but it's really like, all right, how would Christ love? Yeah, you gotta
Bro,
love like Christ
I be
loves
saying the
church.
same things. It be low-key feeling like manipulation. But I be like, all right, you're going to be wrong if you don't do this. If you don't do it, you're gonna be wrong, and you're gonna have
So,
to repent
okay,
later.
let me ask this question: where do you dig deep and find the strength to give me the massages when you know it's about to end good for you? But where do you get that energy from?
The reward.
Yeah. So, but you don't know. You never know what reward you could get at any given
But
time.
usually there is an indication of a reward coming.
There is foresight.
you don't have to
There's
dig deep in
foresight,
those
so I
in
don't
those
have to
times.
really dig deep because there's foresight to the reward. Where when it's not, it's just like, all right, you don't know.
Yeah.
It's 50-50. Where if I'm
Yeah.
at 75,
You better take your
80%,
chances. You better roll that dice. Because I continuously tell you,
I
this
know.
is getting MA, but I tell you what it do for me.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? So you never know how the night going to end.
But it's exhausting sometimes.
Is it?
It's exhausting.
All right.
The massages can be.
Fingers be feeling like
He
this.
want
at the end of the
massages?
day.
Yeah,
Or
he
you
likes
just
massages.
volunteer?
I don't ask her, but I do like them.
Well, remember how the our marriage counselor had us? I think it was called Love Nuggets. Like,
Yeah.
it's kind of like love languages, except it's deeper. Like the description is deeper.
Yeah.
And so, if you like physical touch, you're actually telling what kind of physical touch you like. What are the things that you like me to do that fill your love tank?
Right.
So he put massages.
I do
and this
love
and that.
massages.
Yeah.
I'm not necessarily. I just need it.
Yeah.
I'll be tense.
That's
hands
how
are
I
tense,
am.
y'all.
She
I
is
think-
tense
I
all
am
the
very.
time.
I mean, the masseuse has been like, "Girl, you need to come back like every week," and I don't know why, but I do carry a lot like in my shoulders and upper back. So it's like after the day, I'm like, I just hold the muscle and just.
Well, for her, she be
Oh.
feeling like I be too strong.
No, what did our son say? What did our son say?
I don't know.
One day we was in the office and oh man, I wish I knew we were gonna talk about this ahead of time. But we were in the office and you massaged Trey's shoulder and he goes, "Oh, there you are, giving another one of your rough massages."
The fingertip strong.
It's like, there you are. He's like, ow. Oh, that's what it was. You were massaging me and he walked in the room and was like, there you are, giving another one of your rough, because you had done it to him before. He was like, Dad.
I can't help I got
Strong
strong hands.
He's like, Dad. I mean, he's just a
Strong
strong
hands.
guy in general. Like he just started
Yeah.
Taekwondo.
Oh,
And
come on. I
Okay.
know you wanted to start something.
Right.
Start us
Oh,
up.
nice.
Oh, you ready?
so the instructor was like, you have a lot of power.
Yeah.
Hey man,
You're just a strong dude. I'm like, just bring it back. Half power.
Yeah,
It was what he
half
kept
power.
telling
Yeah,
you. Half power.
He said you
Yeah.
got some power. But I used to do martial arts back in the day.
Nice.
And so I just started
Got a
back
lot
up
of
again. So I put in a group chat. We have a group chat with some of the fellas.
Yep.
And I was like, hey, y'all want to do martial arts with me? And so one of our homeboys was like, yeah, send the details. I still ain't heard from Cadero yet. But
You right. You right.
Is this the homeboy? I was going to say.
No, it was a group
didn't
of us.
respond. I never responded.
Golly.
two of
I'm
them,
down though.
two of the fellas responded. One of them was like his schedule. He don't know if he could do it.
Uh-huh.
But
I
then
need the
another one of our
details.
friends was like, "Yeah, bro, I'm down. Shoot me the details." I just
Yeah.
thought it'd be something cool for us to do together.
Yeah.
And I
Uh-huh.
feel like it's really dope when a man can just. Not that I ever anticipate getting into an altercation, but I'd rather need it. I mean, rather have it and
Yeah.
not need it.
Just whip it out when necessary.
You know what I'm saying? Like you never know. Like, and then, but here's the other thing. I'm doing it with my boys. They're doing
Yeah.
it too. I just
Yeah.
like. I think the place that we're going is very family oriented. They
Yeah.
did a whole welcome to the family thing. They're
nice.
Christian based.
Yeah.
They don't condone bullying. They don't condone cussing in the like. It's
really
it's
good.
a really good
Yeah.
atmosphere.
And they have self-defense for women too. I was
Nice.
thinking about texting y'all about
Well, I think that would be cool because I've always told Kadero I want to fight like in the movies, right?
it. You will go in
And
there.
I told Kadero we had one time. I don't know if you remember this. This was years and years
Why
ago.
you laughing, Katero? Let her have her kung fu dream.
But this was years and years ago, and I was like, Kadero, let's fight like we in a movie, right? Because I just want to be like fast, like in the and we was making sound. You remember that?
Vaguely.
I remember it because it meant a lot to me. I just wanted to fight good and fast.
Fight
Good
good.
and fast.
Well, I will say they showed me a couple moves the other night. We did like a
Oh.
little free session, and
Is that what
learned-
happened to your wrist?
No,
She grabbed me,
right? But they were holding, or he tried it on me too. He was holding my wrist real tight, and I was able to get away.
yeah. And that was just a
It
quick
was,
little
you know, he's strong.
Yeah, strong fingertips.
So half power.
half hour.
Half pound.
I love
Where
that.
were we
Yes.
going?
Send
with
me
I don't know. I don't
send
know what
me
we're
the
talking about.
deets, and so I know what days.
I put it in the
calls.
thread.
Yeah,
I
so
put-
Just gotta look back.
Gotta look back.
Scroll.
Just scroll.
Oh, I scrolled the wrong
gotta
way. I
look
did.
through the. You put the deets on what days and stuff.
Well,
Not
so
working it out on the podcast.
we really
Follow up with him later.
so really, man, honestly, so what we might have to do is move some of our days around. But if you really think about it, Tuesday and Thursdays is gonna be a good day. I mean, I don't know. We can call him tomorrow and ask. No.
That's funny.
Not you,
Okay.
low key answering him.
Yeah.
But-
Through the example.
But yeah, no, I think every man.
That could be dope though.
It would be dope.
It
I
is.
think every man, number one, needs to be able to protect his family, and this is a part of intimacy. Let me tell you something.
That part.
Let me tell you something.
Bring it back.
If let your woman be in distress of any kind,
Yeah.
not just because somebody is attacking her. I mean, let it be a snake. I mean, just any kind of distress, and you come to her aid
That part.
with confidence
Yep.
and quick solutions.
quick solutions.
It's the quick
You know what I mean?
I would
Yeah.
like that very much.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But here's the thing. You don't know the world is crazy.
It
That's
is.
crazy.
Like you would think like, well, God is my protector. Let me tell you, just a couple of weeks ago, I live in a very nice neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Just a couple of weeks ago, my daughter called me, I think it was like 1 a.m, and she was like, Dad. Now luckily she got me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I usually gone.
Mm-hmm.
She called me, she said, Dad, there's some guy standing in front of the house. And like when I pulled up to the house, he just started looking in my car. And I was like, what?
Oh wow.
So I got up. She said, yeah, I'm scared, Dad. I said, well, where you at right now? She said, I drove away. She's like, I just pulled off.
Oh wow.
And so I went out there, but I didn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
And she said he had tattoos all on his neck and he was just walking in the neighborhood. And when she said it freaked her out. And so anyway,
So
just
that's why your behind should be in the house.
you should be.
Right.
And I did tell her
Anyway,
that.
go ahead.
I did tell her that. It's like, well, you should be in the house at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
But my point is, you just never know
Never
when
know.
you find yourself in an
Yeah.
altercation and that you try to avoid and like
Yeah.
de-escalate. Sometimes people are just take it there.
Yeah.
And if they run up,
Hey.
you know, remember that old song, "Punks Run Up to Get." Yeah, like
Yep.
it's just
They
gonna
don't
be.
know what you know.
They
That part.
you don't know what they don't know what I know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and so it won't be half power.
He said, "I'm giving them all the power."
Giving you the strong
Getting all
fingers.
Yes.
You getting all this monkey knuckles.
Monkey paws.
Monkey paws.
Yes.
I love this though.
I have one more question for
Uh-huh.
us tonight. Is we talked about love languages, but have you ever taken the time? And I don't know if it's too early or not. We have not done this, but I'm interested. I think I know, but we might have to do this intentionally. Learning the love language of our children
Mm.
and how to best communicate with them.
Yeah.
It's interesting because
Yeah.
she's so young, but I think we already see quality time is
Yep.
going to be huge for her.
Yep.
She loves togetherness,
Mhm.
and like she'll say, "Everybody, whatever it may be,
Yeah.
everybody do this." Everybody.
Yeah.
She likes where I can be on my phone. Done, daddy. Done.
Done
Like,
with phone,
Done
is
with
what she'll
phone.
say.
Like so, she wants the attention,
Yeah.
and she wants that time.
Yeah.
Like where it's just solely focused on her and whatever we're doing. So
Yeah.
I can see quality time's gonna be probably big for her, and then we want that to be being that if we get busy, she's gonna want that time with
Yeah.
us. So kind of.
And I think right up under that is probably physical touch. As of late, like she has been just on me. Like she wants hugs, she just wants cuddles, like she just wants everything. I'm like, girl, she a little aggressive with it, but I said, here we
take
are.
it.
Yeah, she is. She is. But yeah, I think like to your point, like she'll say in a minute, like, done with talking. Like she
like,
tells us
we
that
can be having a
conversation. Done with
Done with
talking.
talking.
Like come
Like, that's enough.
Yeah,
Yeah,
enough's
Y'all
enough.
done talking. I wouldn't have my time with
Yeah.
y'all. Like
Done with talking.
done with
Yeah.
talking.
I love Novi.
Yeah, she's a whole
But
situation.
I would love to hear from y'all as they've grown up and
Has it
have y'all
changed?
has it changed and navigating
Honestly,
that.
I don't think that I've ever like intentionally took the
right.
time to say what are their love languages.
But we've noticed things
We've
about them.
yeah. My son Trey, I believe that Trey is a words of affirmation guy.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me if you think otherwise, or if you think there's something else that he really responds to. I've always had this relationship with Trey where I just was always very vocal with him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I was like that with all the kids, but it was always something really specific about Trey. And so he's that way. And honestly, all of our kids they communicate very well. They express their emotions. Like our kids, from the oldest 21-year-old all the way down.
Yeah.
If I don't hear "I love you"
Yeah.
at some point from them throughout the day, something's wrong.
Right. They're always saying,
They're
love you, Dad.
always,
Love you, Mom.
love you,
Aw,
Love you.
I love that.
All the
He'll
time.
come give us a hug, love you. Or they'll be in the living room watching TV.
Yeah.
We'll be in our bedroom, the door just be open.
Yeah.
And they'll feel like, okay, I'm done watching TV now. They'll turn the TV off and run upstairs to go to their room and be like, love y'all.
Oh,
Like they just,
sweet.
I
love that.
Yeah.
they're just really loving kids. And so,
Yeah.
but for Trey, I think is words of affirmation.
I kind of feel that for all of them, the words of affirmation.
Yeah.
And then I also feel like they love the quality time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we do the family night once a week, the movie night.
Mm-hmm.
And in times where we haven't, it's like, are we going to do the...
Like, well, we ain't do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's something to pay attention to.
Yeah.
I just had that thought just now. Just
I think that's good that you brought it up because I feel like oftentimes parents don't think about that for their kids at all. Like we put, these love languages to like a marital or just like relational sometimes with like, and you don't think you have other relationships.
Yeah.
with your
Their little
kids.
emotions
you're
matter.
surrounded by, like, if you have kids, you're surrounded by relationships.
Yeah.
And I think, like what you just said, sometimes I think our focus is, okay, I just need to know my wife's love language.
Yeah.
But you have 4 other relationships in the
Right.
house right
Right.
now that you are unaware. And
Yeah.
here's the thing. This is a good one. Somebody else out there in them streets
Yeah.
is paying attention to their love language while you're not.
Yeah.
And you wonder why we didn't teach her that. Why she
Yeah.
like that? Because somebody else who's speaking her love language,
Yep.
she wants to please them, or he
Yep.
wants to please them, or her, or whatever
Yeah.
the case. And it doesn't always mean sexual or something inappropriate. It could just mean you're hanging out with the wrong crowd.
Yep.
Well, why are you hanging out with them type of people? We never put you around those type of people. Well, man, they just make me feel like I'm part of the family.
Yeah.
Oh, so they're speaking a language that you feel like has been missing. And so we have to take accountability with that. I will challenge every parent where you feel like your children are doing something or participating in something or even watching something that you're like, man, I don't know where I went wrong, or why are they doing that? That's not them. That's not who they are. I want you to ask yourself, are they somehow looking for something that you have not been giving them? Is there a love language that you're unaware of, that they are even unaware of, but they know when this person talks to me, and tells me I'm fine and that I got shape, even though it's an unhealthy compliment, he sees me and he's acknowledging me and he's making me feel good about myself. That's words of affirmation.
Yep.
Yeah.
And Father, you're at home getting onto them all the time about you ain't wearing no makeup. And I'm not saying they shouldn't have rules, but what I'm saying is what they're hearing from you is a lot of how they don't look like this because you don't want them to look like this. And when they're at school, there's these guys, girl, you look good. You ought to wear that. That makes you look so pretty. I love when you wear that color. Like, that's something to look into.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's something to really look into.
Yeah.
So good.
So good.
Well, how y'all feel?
I feel good. I
do
feel like this was a great,
too.
fun episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think, it was good.
Okay. Well, I guess we can wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
Well, y'all, we are so happy that you was able to, you made it to the end, y'all.
Yeah, you did.
You came and you stayed and you conquered.
That part.
Perseverance.
Perseverance. And so, so listen, I want you to, if you have not, make sure that you are that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, that you like this video. If you actually like it. Now, if you don't like it, don't do it. But if you liked it, I want you to showcase that you liked it and click on that like button. But also click the bell notification because we promise you I missed the notification.
Oh, I missed it too.
Click on the bell notification. Ding. Oh, you saw that? There's little harmonies in there too.
But it's
everywhere.
It's a little off.
No,
It was everywhere.
Everybody was in a different key. We weren't all in the
it's
same
gonna make
key.
it. It's all right. We all different. But make sure that you click that notification because we're gonna have content dropping every Wednesday at noon.
Yeah.
Every week. Until we change it. It's gonna be every week at noon. Every Wednesday. And we want you to make sure that you're keeping up because we're gonna do our best to share not just our personal stories, but just things that we feel like will be helpful for you all. Because hey, look, at the end of the day, it's not just a podcast.
It's a community.
It's a community. Also, we're on all social media platforms.
Yes.
The Marriage Altaer, Altaer. I feel like that's gonna be a thing. We don't even have to spell it no more, but we're gonna be spelling it.
Yep.
But the Marriage Altaer on Instagram, where we at? TikTok, Facebook,
Facebook.
Yep.
everywhere.
YouTube.
YouTube. You here already?
Yeah.
too.
And if you listening to us on like Spotify or
Yeah.
Apple Podcasts, leave us a review.
Yes.
Hopefully it's a 5-star review.
That's
Come
all
on,
we
hopefully.
accept.
Anything lower than a 4, don't even leave anything.
Yeah.
Don't
Just keep moving on. Just keep moving on.
Don't
keep
even
moving
leave
on,
it.
but
Keep
leave that
scrolling.
review, yo.
Yeah.
Absolutely,
Well,
man.
is
Love
that
you
it?
guys.
Are we
Yeah.
good?
Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
good.
Well, that's it for tonight
Yes.
or today
Huh?
or whatever time it is where you are.
Yes, right.
But I want you to meet us next week. Where?
At
the altar. Hey.
What are we gonna talk about?
Meet me at the altar.
You caught me. I was ready.
We gonna get all.